become political. So I think we have to be very careful there. Another thing is about when we talk about food, women and food security, I don't know about other countries, we have a large population of illiterates. I think we have, according to the World Bank, we have 0.13 billion. But you don't get this figure from the Chinese government. The Chinese government always gives you a very rosy picture. So I think, how do we work with these women? So that's why we have literacy projects. It's comprehensive. We combine women's political participation, economic independence, peace, that's against violence, environmental protection, and everything. So that's comprehensive. So I think we still have to raise the awareness, both men and women. That's why now we reach out to men, because it takes both to tangle. If you just have women with a gender awareness, it's not enough. You need both men and women to work together, both with gender awareness, because gender is itself about men and women. It's about men and women. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. I think we'll get more questions. There have been really very clear points already being raised and things that we can actually take forward in the workshops to be included in your declaration. There are a few more points and questions. Yes? I think you, yes ma'am, I think I saw you first before. Yeah.
Good morning. I'm Tessie Bunganoy from Northern Mindanao, and I work in Northeastern Mindanao. I work with the Department of Labor and Employment. And regarding concrete actions or steps into the development of fuels or biofuels in particular, ILO is embarking into this development of biofuels. They will be bankrolling the study on how biofuels could be produced in Agusan del Norte. This will be, we are going to start that next month and then the rest of the years thereafter. Now regarding the participation of women in organizations and their role in production, particularly on food, we have observed that yes, the one who brought out the data in Surigao, there is really a dramatical change in the participation of women as to membership in organizations in that part of Mindanao, the northeastern Mindanao. Because in 1990s, when we have our impact evaluation on micro enterprise development, also funded by ILO, most of the organizations are men, the membership composed of men. But most recently, because we are also a registering agency, we found out that most of the organizations who register now are composed of women. We register about from 6 to as many as 51 organizations every month. So the women now are playing a very crucial role in production of food. And Dolly, as a concrete steps, what we have done in food production is now into granting funds for the micro enterprise of this rural workers organization. Now most of these rural worker organizations are into farming, meaning they're into rice and corn production, into fisheries, into timber production, particularly in the Surigao and the Agusan provinces. Now, so the role of women, you can see that there is a change. And now they're into, especially in Bukidnon, because I was born in Cagayan de Oro, in Bukidnon, I came into face-to-face interview with women who actually do land preparation, not just harvest and post-harvest activities. So that's it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good morning. I'm Alice Herrera, former Vice Mayor of Quezon City, now with the God Council. I just would like to share what we did in our city, wherein the first law that was signed by our president now was RA 9003, which requires local government units to segregate compost garbage. And what we did in our city was, there was this barangay. Barangay is the smallest political unit in the Philippines. Is that following that law, he put up his own collection system. He bought some second-hand garbage trucks and put up a materials recovery facility wherein there was garbage collected, and he required the community to segregate their garbage. That there were some days allotted for kitchen waste, and there were some days allotted for recyclable materials like paper, whatever, cartons, tin cans. So an area of that materials recovery facility was allotted for recycling of paper, and these were sold, and the other portion of the MRF was used for composting. Because the city and the mayor gave an incentive program to barangays wherein if you put up your MRFs and the garbage trucks of the city collecting your garbage will be decreased, then 50% of that saving will go to the barangays. So since this barangay has been collecting and segregating, he was able to get ₱1 million from the city government. And then, again, from that proceeds, he put up a demo, a farm, wherein the compost coming from the kitchen waste was used to produce organic vegetables. So I was also able to get some funds from a senator to put up a solar water pump, wherein we use the sun to electrify the pump. So in a way, they were able to get to save about 10,000 pesos a month for water to water the plants, and some of the houses in the community. This is a poor community. Were able to get also water from the solar water pump. So that's it. What I'm saying is that we need the political will. We have the RA 9003, but sad to say, only a small percentage of our mayors are following this. And if I heard somebody mention about compost and organic fertilizers, and I was thinking if only this law will be, fully implemented and followed by our mayors, that we will have enough. We will have enough compost or fertilizers. As an added activity of that barangay is that he put up some seedlings and distributed it to his constituents, and he also taught them though this is a highly urbanized city and we hardly have lands to plant or go into backyard farming. But what he taught them was the empty bottles of Coca-Cola, the plastic. So they put some garden soil into it, and they were able to, and also they also use sacks, empty sacks or used sacks, and they put some garden soil into it and some compost fertilizer, and they were able to grow tomatoes, what they call it, onions and cabbage, lettuce and everything. So we're hoping in our city that we'll be able to duplicate this in so many and other communities, so that more or less, in a way, this is helping alleviate poverty, since 60% of our city are poor, and also in case of a disaster, then we have food just to pick up from our own backyard.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yes. Thank you. We'll just have one last question and input first before probably we take a break. Are there quite a lot of other questions or comments that anybody wants to put in? 1, 2, 3. Okay, so we'll just take one more, and then please I'll ask all the others that we'll still have time later to further refine and add on policy recommendations or thoughts that we need. Linking women, climate change, and food security. Yes.
Thank you.